Easy guys, as always, reporting live from sunny Bangkok. So today going to be running you through a typical day of eating for me in my current phase. I'm currently in an improvement phase. The OGs know we would call this kind of a Maingaining phase, whereby I'm eating in and around maintenance through the week, a little bit above on the weekends as I'm going out for a few meals, but goal very much is to stay lean, relatively lean, not put on too much fat, build lean muscle, perform when I'm in the gym, and also fuel myself a BJJ, which I'm now doing 2 to 3 times a week in the gym, 5 days a week, get a run in there as well. So I want to keep cardiovascularly fit. So that's what I'm doing at the minute. For me, in the week, I like to keep things super simple, minimal kind of prep, minimal effort, as you'll see from the world's laziest meals. But I'll run you through total calories, total macros at the end. I tend to be quite a high carb, relatively moderate to low fat and high protein kind of guy. As for me, I like to keep carbs super high for when I'm in the gym, fueling sessions, fueling performance, and then also when I'm outside the gym, aiding recovery as well. So I'll run you through it, but generally I like to keep most of my carbs in and around the pre and post workout meals there, as well, as that's when I feel the most effective, and I keep protein pretty even throughout. So let's get into it. So about to get stuck into meal one. A common theme that you'll notice with any of my meals is if I'm making them, they won't take any longer than all of about 5 minutes to make. I'll batch cook chicken, I'll batch cook rice, the rice cooker over there, that's the absolute goat, just because it saves so much time. So meal one, very simple. It is 250 ml egg whites, 1 whole egg, about 200 gram, probably about 300 gram of oyster mushrooms, and about 40 grams of tomatoes. These oyster mushrooms, a client of mine, I sent him, I'll put my breakfast on my story the other week. He's a chef, and he was like, mate, they cost like 30 quid in the UK. So he could be capping, but premium stuff. However, here they cost like absolutely nothing, a couple of quid for a kilo or something like that. And then dragon fruit chaser, gotta have something sweet. So we got about 200 grams of dragon fruit as well. So as you can see, eggs, you can't see, but eggs were done in the microwave. Bit of sriracha on there as well. The sriracha sauce here is like, I'm a big spice guy, but it's like spicier than back home, definitely. So we'll get into this, but yeah, microwave eggs took all of about 2 minutes to put in the microwave. The mushrooms, I pre-chopped them and then just grilled them, so it took about a couple of minutes. And then the tomatoes, I didn't grow them myself, so they were just out of the packet. One and done job, pretty straightforward. So yeah, gonna get this down and then go and get stuck into a bit of a work block. Got water on deck as well. I'll probably get about 1 litre down me within the first hour of the day. I generally, this is 1.5 litres, I'll generally drink about 3 to 4 of these a day. Little tip, I don't know what it is, but psychologically, if my water bottle lid is off, I think when it's full up here, it gives me a bit of anxiety if it's sat around the laptop. So I'll try and get it down pretty quickly, just to reduce the stress levels. And yeah, there's a bit of a tip to get your water down here. So about to make the second meal, and take it with me. One thing I want to show you guys quickly, I get messages all the time from the lads that I coach saying, Fee, I can't remember to take my vitamins, I forget to take my vitamins, my subs, whatever. Get one of these pill box on a Sunday or whenever you prepare for the week ahead. Pull out all your subs, stick them in the pill box in each day, and then put it somewhere very visible. For me, I'll literally put it next to the kettle when I'm using the kettle every day to make a meal, make a drink, and then I'll remember to take it. So make it easy for yourself. I think people try and do new habits, try and embed these routines, and like they just got so much friction. So the easier you can make it, the more visual the cue can be, the more simple it can be. If you can tie it in with something else, i.e. rolling your feet with a lax ball to get some tension out whilst brushing your teeth, like just habit stacking where possible, makes life so much easier. So just pulled up to the coffee shop. Of course, got the iced latte on deck, which will be about 100, 120, 150 calories I would say. Coffee shops may vary.
But yeah, normally if I'm in like a bit of a fat loss phase, I'll go with just a nice Americano. But now that we're well into the improvement phase, we'll enjoy the latte. Get stuck into a little bit of work. Gone with the iced latte because I've still got the Invisalign in. I've had it since like, I think about August time now. And it's been crazy, like the changes I've seen in my teeth like, over the past like 12 weeks, whatever it may be. But one thing that you can't do is, they say that you should only drink water when you've got the Invisalign, because you can stain it pretty easily. But my dentist said that if you've got a straw, you just have like a nice latte, just stick it to the back of your throat, and you're good to go. So as long as you don't mind looking like you're sucking off a straw in public, you'll be absolutely fine. So we'll get this down, get into a little bit of work. We're doing some content stuff for Ignite at the moment. So Ignite is my 8-week rapid fat loss program that I've launched, that will start in the new year. And off the back of the last launch, like the lads got in serious nick in literally 8 weeks. Guys were pulling off 8-9 kilos of body fat. So putting some content together for that. We'll do a little bit of work, catch up with the lads for check-ins tomorrow, and we'll go ahead, get another meal down us, get a bit more work done, go and train, and see what the day brings. So just about to get stuck into meal 2 of the day. I forgot to put the macros on the screen for the first meal, so I'll pop meal 1, egg whites and mushrooms on the screen now. It's around about 450 calories. Meal 2, similar sort of calories. We've got in the Tupperware, full bodybuilder style, 60 gram of oats. We've got 200 gram of raspberries, and then we've got 1 scoop of whey protein. So that's around about 40 grams of protein. Again, I'll put the macros on the screen now. It looks like this. So not the most appetizing of meals, but something I stress to the lads that I do coach on a regular basis is not every meal you have has to be some gourmet, fancy dish. Sometimes we're just eating for fuel. Me, very much like Monday to Friday, I will just eat pretty boring stuff. Things that are just easily repeatable. I don't mind eating the same things kind of multiple times. And then on the weekends, I'm a big food guy, so on the weekends when I do have more time, got more flexibility, more freedom, I will go ahead there and change things up quite a bit. It's normally when I go out for food as well, so yeah, I don't mind the monotony in the week. It just allows me to focus on things that actually move the needle and then enjoy the weekends. So just got back from the coffee shop and took a couple to go. That's Hannah's mocha. Mine's not quite as exciting as that. Just got but a nice Americano. So we're going to get stuck into the pre-workout meal, and I've not meant for this to be a full-blown kind of bodybuilder day of eating, but Hannah and I ran out of decent seasoning the other day, so we have got full-blown tasteless chicken on the menu, and then rice. So we'll batch cook like 4 or 5 days worth of chicken at a time, stick it in the fridge, stick it in the freezer if needs be. But we're going to get 150 grams of chicken breast, 300 grams of rice, a little bit of kimchi in there. For me, this is kind of a perfect pre-workout meal, just because rice digests nice and easily, as this chicken breast. The rice we keep in as main source of carbohydrates. Carbs needed for us to, as I said earlier on, kind of fuel performance when we are in the gym, make sure that we're training well and that we've got energy, and then we'll have a similar meal in the post-workout meal. Chicken digests very nicely, so that is why we're having that. Look at the rice, absolutely spot on. A rice cooker has been a revelation in our gaff there. You can see I've not done the dishes yet, terrible from me. But it's been a revelation in our gaff, to be honest with you. I was always a big microwave rice kind of guy, or packet rice. But since having this, it has been just perfect rice, 24/7. You can leave it at a perfect temperature. It's just ready to go at any given moment. So here's the finished article. We've got chicken breast, of course. Looks
not very appetizing, I'll be honest. Jasmine rice, seaweed salad, and kimchi. Kimchi's just in there for gut health things. Similarly as is the seaweed salad, to be honest, is pickled. The macros in these are pretty much negligible, especially in the kimchi. Seaweed salad, probably a little bit higher, but 6, 7, 10 gram of carbs, if that, which I won't count just because I'm kind of maingaining, as I'm saying. Then we've got French's yellow classic mustard. I've only been having this for like the past few months. I don't know how I got to 26 without ever really using mustard, but it is banging. So if you don't know, get to know. Calories in this are very, very low as well. So would recommend, if you're in a fat loss phase, get involved. So got back from the gym session a good while ago now. Was cracking with some work, but in for the fourth meal of the day, which is, as they say in Thailand or Bangkok, same. So again, we've got chicken, rice, kimchi, seaweed salad, trusty mustard. I'm gonna get stuck into this and then have another meal just before bed. I say just before bed. Probably about 90 minutes, 2 hours before bed. Ordinarily, like that last meal, I've kind of left a lot of fats for by accident. No, normally I like to kind of pre or front load my fats, as I think you're more likely to store fats as fats the less active that you are. So if you go and cram a load of fats right before bed, then go to bed, you're likely going to store it as fats. Sorry, bed before bed was confusing me. So yeah, again, very carb heavy meal. Gym session absolutely flew. When I was in the gym, I had 250 mils of coconut water as well as intra workout for carbohydrates. So intra just means during your workout. Some carbohydrates during the session, just so I could ensure that I had some stored glycogen, so I could basically perform as best as possible. If you think about your muscles like pistons, I don't know why I've used this analogy because I've got no car knowledge, but basically you need fuel in said engine to perform exercises best as possible. When you're in the gym, you're using the stored carbohydrates, aka glycogen, as fuel, so you need to kind of keep on topping that up to continue pushing in your session. This mainly applies if you're having a session kind of north of 45 minutes an hour at a good intensity, and especially if it's hot, the hotter it is, the more that you need to replenish your electrolytes as well. So that's important. Also before I go, I got the bicep band for the Whoop. I thought these things look fucking ridiculous for a good while. You would have caught me wearing one of these at all. But I am basically doing, as I think I said earlier, but doing jiu-jitsu a couple of days a week at the minute. 2-3 days a week, and I am just leaving the sessions absolutely wrecked. My recovery at times is pretty cooked. Like, I'll sleep well, stress is good, but I'll just feel so cooked from recovery. So I just want to kind of get the bicep band just to be able to measure what kind of calories I'm burning as a rough estimate when I am in there, what heart rate's doing, that sort of thing, just because when you are doing jiu-jitsu, they're pretty strict on you. Like, you have to make sure that your nails are all trimmed, can't be wearing anything on the wrists because people are going to be grabbing them, whereas up here it's a little bit more sort of out of the way. So that is the reason for that. So final meal of the day, about to go down. Nothing too crazy. Catching up on fats for the day. So we've got 40 grams of salted almonds. Try not to pour them out. And then we went to Boss Lady. Outside the condo, there's like either end or either exit, there's like a little fruit stand. And you would get people selling fruit for this, which is like half or a quarter of a watermelon. It's 50p sliced up for you. So we've got two. It's about 450 grams of watermelon. So that concludes the eating for the day. I think I'll double check what the macros are, but we're sat around 190 protein, 350 gram of carbs, and then around about 50 gram of fats there or thereabouts. So not crazy high in terms of carbohydrates. Overall calories for the day will be circa 2,600 to 2,700. And again, like I say, nothing too crazy at the moment, just because I'm enjoying going out for food a few days a week. But performance is in a really good spot because I'm getting the bulk of my carbs in my post-workout meals, and just trying to stick to mainly whole foods, save myself for the treats on the weekend at the minute. So yeah, that is the full day of eating. Appreciate you tuning in. Tune in for the next one. We're going to be doing a vlog in Malaysia, as just after Christmas Mum's going to be in town, so I'm going to go catch up with her over in Kuala Lumpur. So no doubt there'll be some good eating there, some training, and yeah, take you around then. Catch you then.